Hey what's everyone, and welcome back to a new video here on the channel. So in today's video we're going to do a Shopify tutorial. So if you're looking to sell your product online, perhaps you already have a business but you don't have a website, or perhaps you're just looking to start your very first business, then this video is going to be the perfect video for you to watch, because I'll be walking you through step by step each thing that you have to customize in order to get your Shopify store started, and also give you some tips and tricks on some things that you should keep in mind, and also things that you should do in order to have a successful Shopify store. But before we begin, I also want to say that I do recommend you to watch the whole video throughout, especially if you are a beginner. If you are a beginner, it's important to understand each individual step on Shopify. You could also try to learn yourself, but I do recommend you to actually listen to someone who has been through it, as you do understand how things work and what you should actually look at in order to customize your website. But with that being said, let's just jump into this video and hopefully you guys do enjoy. Okay, so the very first thing you want to do is just make sure you head over to shopify.com. You can also use the link down in the video description. It will be an affiliate link, so I do get some commission when you use my link, but I do appreciate it. And remember, I'm not selling you anything here. I'm not doing a Shopify course on how to sell products for $10 million within 6 months or 30 days, whatever it is. I'm not trying to do any of that here. I'm just showing you what I know so you guys can use that knowledge and just try to set up your own Shopify store as well. But with that being said and that out of the way, the very first thing we want to do here is just put in our address. So when you use Shopify for the first time, you get a 14-day free trial. So this 14-day free trial actually requires no credit card as well, or no debit card. So you can just essentially get started for free. And then once you have your store set up and ready to go, then you can pay for the subscription to launch your brand. But until then, it's going to be completely free of charge, so you can essentially just create your account. So what I'm going to do here is just fill up my email, and then I will get back to you in just a second. Then when you're on this step, just make sure you fill out your email once again, your password, and then your Shopify domain. This is not going to be super important what you pick for the Shopify domain itself, because this will not be your final domain name, because essentially what you have here is the free domain name, which is Caseyfy said, in my case, .myshopify.com. In the future, you're going to buy a domain, or you will get a domain with your Shopify subscription, as your domain name will just be, in my case, caseyfysaid.com. But it will be obviously your brand name.com or .se or whatever else you want to use for your domain. But just continue setting this up, and then just continue to press create your store. Once all of that is ready, we'll be on this page right here. On this page, you can just go ahead and click on skip. Next out, you want to fill out this information. I'm going to do it right now. Just fill it out, and once that is done, we'll just continue to enter my store after that. Once all of those steps are done, we're essentially done with creating our account. Now you want to make sure you verify your email account as well, but we can do that later. We don't have to really worry about that as of now. As you can see, the very first thing we have here is the dashboard. So this will be the overview of your Shopify store. I'm just going to close down some of these things. You can see at the bottom here, your trial has just started. So eventually we're going to have to select a Shopify plan. We'll go through some of the different plans later, and I'll just recommend you guys whatever plan that I think you guys should get if you actually want to launch your brand and start selling your products. The very first thing we have is adding products. We also have customizing theme, adding a domain name, and setting up payments as well. What we want to start off doing is actually customizing the theme that we have, so how the website actually looks like. So what we want to do is just head over to customize themes right here. Once we are on this page right here, we'll see the current theme that we have, which is Dawn, which is just a theme that is completely free of charge from Shopify. We can also click on View Store in order to see how our store currently looks like. And as you can see, it's not a good looking store, although it's totally fine, to be honest. If you just fill this out with information and images and text, I think this will be a pretty nice looking store. It's going to be simple. It's not going to be anything special, but it'll be a pretty decent store anyway. So what we'll do is actually just go back. So I'm just going to close this down and go back into Shopify right here. And what we have here is the current theme that we have. We have the actions. So if we want to, we can rename this theme. We can duplicate it. We can download, we can edit the code for the specific theme, and we can edit the languages as well. You can also go ahead and customize this theme that is currently live on your website. If you go ahead and customize it, we have other settings that we can change. So images, text, what I just mentioned as well, as all of that will be within the customization area as well. Going down, we have the online store speed. This is something you will see once you have published your website. You'll be able to understand how fast your website is, because how fast your website is actually super important for your customers. Because if your website takes 10 seconds to load, no one is going to go on your website. They will just go on the website, they realize that the website is loading for such a long time, and then they will eventually just click off because it's just such a frustrating experience overall. Moving down a little bit more, we have more 3 themes that we can use from Shopify itself. We also have the Shopify theme store where you can buy more premium themes. Usually they cost around $100 and up. So if you have the money to spend, I do recommend you to get a premium theme. But if you don't want to invest that much money into your brand initially, then you have the 3 themes, which are completely fine to use. And obviously they do work if you just customize it and make it look branded to your store. What we'll do is actually just click on explore 3 themes, and I'm just going to walk you through some of the 3 themes that we have here on Shopify. We have the Dawn one, which is one of the newest one from Shopify. Express, Minimal, Brooklyn, Narrative, Supply. Venture used to be a pretty popular one in like 2015, so I don't think it's really that popular anymore. Because either you have some themes to choose from, so you're not that limited, you have some options. I think Dawn is probably going to be the best one for us, so I'm just going to keep the one that we have. But if you want a different one, you can just go ahead and click on one here, and then you just add it to your theme library. You also see this one, for example, has 2 different themes or styles. So you can have a light one or a blue one as well. And then you just click on add to theme library. But for my case, I like the one that we currently have. So I'll just close this down, and then we'll go back up and click on customize right here. Once we have clicked on customize, we'll open up the Shopify editor. In here, we have quite a few things. So if we look on the left side of the screen, we see we have our different elements on Shopify. So on this specific page, we have the announcement bar, which is the bar that you can see here at the top, which says welcome to our store. So if I click this element, for example, you can see that we have the text. So I can click on the text once again, and then we can just change the text right here. So if I put test, then it will just update the banner. You can see that that is obviously the banner that we're editing. We can also change the background scheme or color scheme here. So we have background 2. We'll see what color that is. No difference at all. Inverse, we'll make it black. We'll have accent 1. We'll see what color we have. We haven't picked or selected any colors for our theme yet, so this will just be the basic colors that are actually selected from Shopify. I like the white one, so I'll just go back to the white one for now. Obviously up here, we usually see on a lot of stores, it will be free shipping, for example, free shipping on orders over $100. That is a common thing you would see across a lot of different brands. Not necessarily free shipping, but it could also be we have an active sale, maybe Christmas sale, New Year's sale, whatever it is. Usually that is where you have that kind of information, where you just make announcements to your customers, like order now to get your delivery before Christmas, for example, is something that you could use this announcement banner for. Now, if you don't want to have this announcement bar, you can also hide it. So you have this little icon right here. So if you click on that, we can also hide the bar. So it will just be completely gone on the site. But then again, if you want to add it again, you can just go ahead and reverse it and just click again, and you'll have it back on the site. Moving down, we have each element that we have here on the home page of our website. We can see that we have a header image, which is going to be this header that we have here. And then moving down, we have a bit of text and titles. Let's see where we have it right here. So we have talk about your brand. We can change that as well. All of this is very super easy to do. You just go ahead and change the text, make the changes that you want, add the images that you want, and then you can just publish it live. But going back to the header, I just want to make sure that we update our logo. So in this case, I already have a logo ready. If you don't have a logo, you can use Canva, for example, to create a logo for free, or you can order one on Fiverr, or just reach out to a friend who is a graphic designer that can help you set up and create a logo for you, or just order one from a legitimate business. Whatever you want to do, just make sure you have a logo for your business. It's going to be super important just to make your website seem a bit more trustable. In this case, I'm just going to select the one that I already have. So I have a lot of files in here with my Shopify video documents. As we have one, which is Caseyfy. I believe this brand is already taken, so apologies to the brand that currently has this name. It's just an example video, so please don't sue me for this. Caseyfy, I made this logo real quick in just Photoshop. Obviously, you can use Photoshop as well if you have like some knowledge. It's not the best logo in the world, but that will fit. And I think it looks pretty good. We might want to make it a bit bigger. Let's see what happens. Yeah, 160. I think 160 looks fine, so I'm going to keep it 160. You can also go ahead and just edit the alt text if you want. Alt text will just help you in Google search, so your images can show up when people Google Casify, for example. Your logo will show up so people can get it or whatever else. But that is not something we'll go into in this video. It's a different topic. It's about SEO, but we'll just continue down as we go. Next up, we have desktop logo position. So we can put it in the middle or middle left. We can put it top left, and we can also top center. So then you can see that the logo will be kind of in the middle, and then we have the main menu of the website below. I do like the first option that we have, so I'm going to keep that one. Obviously, if you like any others, you can just go ahead and keep whatever you want. Next option is the menu. So this is going to be the main menu that we have here at the top. The main menu, we can obviously go ahead and change it, so we can add more pages here or more links to different pages. So that is something that we can do if you want to. In this case, I don't have that many pages yet because we just started out. So I don't really have anything to add. So I'm just going to keep it as it is for now. Moving down, show separator line. We'll just click on this and see what happens. I don't think I can see any difference, to be honest. Let's see. Something changes. I'm not entirely sure. I can't really tell. We'll just keep it on for now. Sticky header, this will be that your header itself is going to be sticky to the top, so we'll just follow the user when it scrolls down. So if I do this, it's not going to be sticky anymore, and if I do activate it again, it will be sticky. It doesn't show in the preview, I believe. So if we go to the live website, I believe we can see it directly. So let's just see what happens. Okay, as you can see on the live website, we have a sticky header. It's a bit weird how it functions because it doesn't really stick all the time when you start scrolling, only when you scroll back up again. But as you can see, we have a sticky header now. If you don't want the header to follow, obviously you can disable this as well. Now, keep in mind that if you have a different theme than the one I'm using right now, a lot of these changes here or a lot of the options that you have will be slightly different, but everything will still be very straightforward. So it doesn't matter what theme you have, all of the settings will still be very straightforward. You can figure it out in about a few minutes if you just start playing around with it. But keep that in mind, a lot of the settings will be different. So no need to jump down in the comments and write angry messages. It will be different if you have a different theme. Moving down, we have the image banner here at the top. We have the first image and second image. There's actually going to be a slider. I don't want it to be a slider, so I'm just going to select the first image, and that will be totally fine. Otherwise, it will just start scrolling between the two images. Usually has a negative impact on your performance in terms of speed on the website. So I'm just going to keep it 1 for now, so we can actually go to the 3 images, because I don't think I have anything that fits within my folders. No, I don't think anything fits very well. So what I just searched for is AirPods, because the products that I have, the example products, are just going to be AirPods cases. And let's see what we got here. We do have some cases. Let's see, does anything really fit with the brand? I think the gray background looks pretty good. Let's see what we got. Not the best images. Obviously you can play around here. A lot of these images are free, or they are free from Shopify, but in the best case scenario, you would have your own images already. You can use other libraries. We have Unsplash, for example. If we head over to unsplash.com, for example, you can find a lot of free images that you can use. You just want to make sure that you reference the creator as well, and just make sure that you're following the guidelines on here. But on here, you can also find anything for free pretty much. So if you search AirPods, you can see that we have a few images that we can use. So in case you find something in here, you can use that as well. But the best option is to have your own custom images as well. In my case, I'm just gonna stick to this image, I think. Let's see, maybe this one fits better. No, it will be a bit tricky to find something that fits your brand perfectly, but I think I'll keep this one as is. It's not going to have much of an impact because I'm not opening this store or publishing it live, but this will be totally fine. Let's just keep it as is like that. Moving down to second option, second image, we are not going to do this, but if you want to, you can add it, and then obviously this header image or this hero banner will turn into a slideshow as well. Image overlay opacity, so if you want to add opacity to this, you'll have a bit of a color, you can do that as well. Banner height, you can have a small. You can make it medium and then you can make it large. I think medium fits well for this page, so I'm going to keep it as medium. Next option, adapt section heights to the first image size. So this will essentially adapt the height of the banner itself to the image that we have. So this image here. So if you have a different image, it will adapt the height to that specific image. In this case, I don't want to do this. I'm just going to change it. Something to keep in mind here, if you do adapt section height to the first image size, and let's say you have this image as the first one, and then as the second one, you have a different image. This second image might be a bit stretched, so it might get really pixelated if it's not the same size or close to the same size as the first image. In the best case scenario, you would have both images as the same size because they're used in the same place. So that's just best practice, but if you don't have the same sizes for them, just keep that in mind. Next, we have desktop content position. So we can put it whatever we want to. So we can put it in the middle center, or we can just put it top right. We can put it bottom left. So this will kind of depend if you have something on the image itself. So you don't want to put something on top of it, like in this image that we currently have, which is a bit hard not to put something on top of it, because obviously the product or the main aspect of this image is the AirPods, which is in the middle of the image. So it's a bit tricky. But we're just gonna keep it middle center for now. Show container on desktop. We don't want to show the container. So we're just gonna have the text itself and then a button here at the bottom of the text. Desktop content alignment center. Moving down, we have mobile layout. So mobile content alignment, we can do center, left, right. Stack images on mobile or show containers on mobile. So this will be for the mobile version. And now you might be thinking, how do I see how it looks on mobile? No need to worry. If you go here at the top, you can see a little desktop and then you can change it to mobile as well. So now you'll see how your website will look on mobile. And actually the logo looks pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with that. But yeah, the website looks fine. I think the header image looks fine as well. Then obviously we have a lot of things left to change here as well. But going back to desktop, I think we're pretty much fine or done with the image itself. We're gonna head over to the text that we have. You can change the text here. So best AirPod cases. Let's just keep it like that. Then we have the button as well. So we can click on the button here. And then we can change the text of this button. So perhaps we want to change this to buy now. And then we can change where this button will take users. Where is this button linking to? Currently it's linking to all products, but if you want to change this, just click here. Then you can link to, let's say, a specific product. You can link to a specific page, a blog post, your policies. I don't know what you will link to your policies on the homepage. We have a lot of options here. You can link anywhere on your website. But in this case, because we don't have any products yet, I'm just going to link to a collection and then go back to linking to all collections right here. Next option, use outline button style. I will change the style a little bit, but I don't like that. It's not really visible. The text is not really visible yet either. So this is not maybe the best example for this video, but I think it's fine. Second button, so if you want to add a second one, we can do that here. Watch our video. And then you can add another link here as well. I don't want to have two buttons, so I'm just gonna remove this one like that. Cool. Now we're pretty much finished with the settings. I'm not sure if we'll go through all of the details of changing this page because it is very straightforward. I think you've noticed by now. You just go in and make the changes that you want to make the website look the way you want it to, essentially. And then just make sure that it looks great on mobile as well. And then once you're happy with the home page, you can jump over to the other pages here at the top. You can see that we're currently on the home page, but if you want to change how the product pages look, you can just click here and then let's see where we got default product. So we can click on default product. Actually, we cannot click on default products yet because we don't have any products. We'll just go back. But other things we can change is the collections, for example. So if you want to change a collection, default collection, let's just jump over here. And then you can change how the collection page will look like. It might be a bit difficult if you don't have any products yet. So perhaps the best way for you to change these pages will be to first add products and then go back and change the more detailed pages, such as product, collection list. Pages, we don't really have any pages yet either. So pages you can look at later, but just keep all of this in mind. all of these different types of pages can be changed as well, or the overall theme. Now, the very last thing we're going to look at is the theme settings. So the theme settings will be in the bottom left. If you click on the theme settings, you'll open up here. What you can do in the theme settings, essentially just change the colors, typography, styles, layout, social media links, search input, favicon, which is going to be the little icon you have up here in your browser. So you can change that one to essentially fit your brand as well. I did not create a favicon, so I don't have one, but obviously I do recommend you to create one. Currency format, if you want to change that as well, check out, and then theme style. So in here, I'm gonna actually make some changes. I think the accent color is fine, so I'm happy with the colors. Typography, I think I want to change this to the same one that I have for my logo, which is Montserrat right there. So I'll just keep that one, and then I'm just going to go ahead and click on select. And this is actually for our headings, so I might want to change this from regular to, let's try medium. I think medium looks fine. Let's see if we can go bold. I think bold looks fine as well, so I'm going to keep it as bold. I'm just going to go ahead and click on select. Then we have the body text. So for the body text, this is just going to be the text down here. I think I'll keep it the same. Usually you want to keep it the same across all of it. But if your headings have a very hard to read or a very specific heading or specific font, your body text should always be very easy to read. So make sure that you're using a good font for your body text. What I'm going to do is just click on Montserrat. Let's see how it looks. I think that's totally readable. I think that's fine. I'm going to keep it regular as well. I don't think bold text would work very well with our body text right here, but I think this is fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on select on that one as well. And then what I'll do is just go ahead and click on save. Now, if we go back to our website and do a refresh, we can see that our new changes have been pushed live. Obviously, the heading image here doesn't look that great, but other than that, I think everything looks pretty good. I like the announcement bar here at the top. I do like the logo, and I do like the font as well. So I think everything looks pretty much good. So what we're going to do is just head back over to Shopify once again and click on the exit button here at the top. Once we have done that, we essentially have our site ready to go pretty much in terms of the design. Obviously, we have some changes left, and I want you to do this on your own as well, because it will be up to what you want for your site. But with that in mind, next thing we want to do is add a product to our site. We're just going to go back to the home page where we have "You're off to a great start," and there you have the recommendations on what you should do. What we're going to do is just click on add product right here. Once you click on add product, you will open up the product editor. So this is how it will look like once you add new products to your website. You have the title at the top. So this will be the title of your product. You'll have a description. So the description of this product. You'll have media where you add your images or your videos of this specific product. You'll also have pricing. You can see that my pricing is currently in Swedish SEK, but you can change this in the settings that we'll go over later as well, in case you want to charge in USD or Euro or pounds or whatever you want to charge in. You can do it, and you can change it in the settings later. Moving on, we also have some SKU and so on. But let's just start from the top. So I'm not very picky on the name of my product. This will just be AirPod case pink. So the title of my product will be AirPod case pink. And then the description, I'm not going to write a long description here, but I'm just going to put test so we can see how it looks like. Obviously, in the description, you can also make it bold. You can add internal links or links in here. You can add images. So you can kind of structure the description and give it a lot of detail. I do recommend you to spend some time with your description. They're going to be important because you want to make sure that you sell your product and you describe the product well, perhaps what it's made of and how it's made, and just give it a bit of a story behind each individual product. Once that is done, we want to make sure we add some images here. So I do have my images as I showed earlier, but I do only have one image for this specific pink case that we have, but I'm gonna actually just drag and drop it in like that. And then the image will upload. I would recommend you to have at least a couple of images of each individual product, just to make sure that the customer can see it from different angles in different settings. And I also recommend you to have some real lifestyle images. So someone using your product, if it is a physical product, so if it is clothing, maybe have some pictures actually wearing the clothing outside, just on and about at the cafe or at a restaurant, whatever it is. So you actually have some references for use for people to look at, because you want to see how the product actually looks on a person in real life, and not only with the white background that you normally see when you go shopping on different websites. You want to make sure you have some lifestyle images as well. So here's a great idea if you're using Instagram influencers or any kind of influencers that you send your products to. Just ask them to send you a couple of images, and if they're good enough, you can add them to that specific product page as well. Just add some extra social proof to the product itself, and just add those lifestyle images just to boost the overall look and feel of that specific product. Once that is done, we also have some additional settings. So vendor, obviously we don't have to add a vendor here. We're not selling for multiple brands. This is just our branded product. Product type, if you want to add a product type, you can add it in here as well. I think that could work, but you can also, you can add your own. So we can just add AirPod cases, and then we can add it like that. So now you have your custom one, AirPod cases. You can customize this however you want. Moving on, we have collections. You can add a new collection, but we currently only have one collection, which is homepage. So I'll just add it to the homepage collection. But collections are great if you want to actually categorize your products in different collections, so keep that in mind as well. Next up, we have the pricing. So pricing, obviously now it's in Swedish SEK, but you can change it to USD. It will just automatically set it to your local currency when you create your site. I'll put it at 400, let's say it's USD. So let's do 20 USD. Compare at price. So if you're doing a sale, perhaps it used to be 25. But now it's 20. So if you wanted to do like that, you can. I'm not going to do it. So I'll just keep this with nothing in it. And then cost per item, you don't have to add this if you don't want to. But cost per item, perhaps this product cost me $10. And then I sell it for $20. So I can add that in right here. Just gives you a bit of a better overview in case you want it on Shopify. Otherwise, if you have it somewhere else, you can keep it that way as well. Now, moving to the side, we have tags. In here, you don't really have to add tags, but if you want to, you can do so. So I can do AirPods, AirPod cases, AirPod case, and so on. So you can just go ahead and add whatever tags you want. This is not really going to benefit you in any way. It will just make it easier to find your products within the site itself. So don't overdo it. Just add a couple in here, maybe 3 max, 4 or 5. But don't really overdo it when it comes to the tags itself. Then going down, we can charge tax on this product if we want to as well. So that's an option. We have the SKU or stock keeping unit. So stock keeping unit would just be your internal SKU, which you can use to identify each individual product. Here you can put whatever you want. In my case, 0001 will be our SKU for this specific product. Barcode, I don't have this, so I'm just going to keep it empty as is. You can track your quantity of this product. So if you have a set amount of product in stock, you can track the quantity, and then automatically when the product is sold out on the website, it will just put the product on the website as sold out, so no one else can order it. But if you don't want to track your quantity, you don't have to do it. But as I said, if it's a good way to just keep track of your quantity as well. Here is another option though. So you can continue selling when out of stock. So if you have, let's say, a new batch of cases or products coming in the next 2 weeks or so, you can continue selling the product if you want to. Obviously, the customer might get a delay in terms of when they will receive the product, which might not be the best idea. But you can have it on still if that's what you want to as well. For the quantity here, I'm just going to put 50. So we have 50 of these pink cases on the website. Shipping, this is a physical product. Yes, it is a physical product. You can put the weight in kilogram, which I think you Americans are not going to understand. And I have no idea what LB is either. So I'm just going to keep it at 0.005. 0.005 kilograms. Moving down, we also have customs information. So where is this product from? I'm just going to put Sweden here. And then harmonized system, we don't have this. I'm just going to keep it as is. Then additional options, this will be if you have different sizes or different colors. So if you have that, you can select here. and then you can have size, for example, and then you can have the different values for the sizes. So you can have small, we usually just put S, medium, large, and XL. And then maybe we want to add another option as well, so we can add color, and in here we can add white, pink, and we can add green as well. Now this will add different options on the front end of the website, so customers, when they're on the website, they can select their size and their color. Now moving down, we have some additional options because we created these different variations of this product. So you can change the individual price, perhaps the small size of your sweater or whatever it is cheaper. And perhaps another version of the sweater or your product is more expensive. Maybe you have a golden product and just it will be more expensive. So you can change the individual prices here. Then you can change the quantity as well. So perhaps you only have of the small pink, you only have 2, but the green you are sold out, so you don't have any. So here you can kind of customize for each individual, but you can see how it kind of stacks up. The more products you have, the more sizes, the more color variations, you can see how much more things you have to customize in here. So keep that in mind as well when you are starting a brand, that if you have clothing, for example, there's a lot of different variations that will take your attention because you have to make sure that this is all updated and makes sense. What's good here though is that the SKU automatically adds for the different variations, so that's all good. Final thing about the variations here is that you can link the images. So if you have a picture of the white product, for example, if there are different colors, you can select the image for that white product. We don't have any images of white, but we can do one just to make it as an example. So let's just add a white one as well. Cool. So we can link as white, and then we can link small pink like that. And then I can show you guys what it will do later when we actually look at the website. Cool, I think that's all done for our variations. Finally, you have your SEO settings. We're not going to look at this because it's going to be too advanced and going to take way too long for this video, so we're just going to skip that. We're going to go ahead and click on save, and now our product will be live on the website. So let's see what happens here. Cool, so our product is saved. Then we want to make sure we change the product status to active as well, so we can see it on the website. Cool, now it's up on the website. So what we can do is go back to the website and just click on refresh. And then I think we'll see, yes, we have our product right here, but we do have to customize this image. It is way too big, but it's fine. Clicking on the product, you can see how the product page looks like. We have our 2 images here, and then we have the options here. So we have small, medium, large, and XL. And then finally, we have the color options. So now this is what happens when you link the images to different color variations. So when I click on pink, we'll just automatically show you the pink version. And this just makes it easier for customers to see directly what they're ordering, because if they have pink selected, it will be, okay, I'm going to order the pink one. If they have the white one, they see that they're going to order the white one, just to make it less confusing for customers. Because in some cases, someone wants to order the white one, but they accidentally click the pink one, or you want to order the green one, but you just have the white one automatically selected. So this kind of makes that whole process easier, just to minimize the mistakes that customers can do sometimes. Finally, down here, we have the description of the product. As you can see, we don't have a long text in here, just test, but that's where your product description will be. Cool, I think we're done with the product itself. So let's just jump over back to Shopify once again. We are done with our first product. Now what you want to do is just continue adding all the products you want on the website, making sure that all the images are great. Keep in mind that it looks weird now on the website itself, but we can change this later when we modify our theme. So we're going to edit the pages or the product pages, how they look, to make these images look better. So keep that in mind as well. You don't really have to worry about the images. Now, the next step after you added all your products is to go back to the homepage, and we can see add domain. Adding a domain name, you will do this once you have purchased your plan with Shopify. So this will be a further step that we're going to go through later. And then setting up payments, so ways for your customers to actually pay you. So you can obviously have debit card payments, or you can take, I think, Amazon payment gateway, and you have a bit of different payment methods or payment gateways that you can use for your Shopify store. And that will also depend which country you are in. Now, moving on, we have the product section here on the side. We have customers, analytics, marketing, discounts, and apps. I'm just going to walk you through the apps section for now. In the app section, you can kind of think of it as the app store on your phone. This is where you can add different apps that will give you new functionalities to your Shopify website. We have some starter pack recommendations here. Oberlo, which is for dropshipping, sales countdown timer, which will essentially add a countdown timer on the product page itself, which I think looks a bit weird as a lot of people use it, but I think it really looks odd and really looks a bit scammy when you have a countdown timer, like you have to buy this product within 5 seconds, otherwise it's just going to be sold out. So I don't recommend you to use that, but you can use it if you want to. But essentially what the App Store gives you, or the Shopify apps, is you have a lot more flexibility and a lot more room for customizations. So in here, if we go to customize your store, now once we are in the customize your store section, this is going to be essentially the App Store. Here you can just go ahead and search for apps. So perhaps we want to add a Instagram feed to our website. We'll see if we can find something. I just searched for Instagram and we can see Instagram feed plus photo gallery, social bar, social media icons. We have social, there's a bunch of different apps in here. Some of them will be created by Shopify directly, but a lot of them will also be created by different brands or different companies. They are just producing these different apps with a lot of different functionalities. Now, keep in mind that not all of these will be free. Some of them will come with a monthly cost, so you'll have to pay, let's say, $5 or $10 a month for some specific functionalities. But if they're adding value to your website, then they're worth keeping. But keep in mind that it can add up if you're adding way too many paid of these apps. But a lot of them have free options as well. So there are a lot of great plugins. Make sure you look them through, look at their reviews, look at what people are saying, and just add the ones you actually think will add value to your specific website. And just to give you a quick overview of how you can add a plugin, you essentially look it up, find a plugin that you want. I'm just going to click on this Instafeed, Instagram feed. What I'll do is just click on it and then add the app right here. And once you add the app, it will just be added to your Shopify. And under your apps right here, you can go in and customize this specific plugin, similarly to what we did when we customized the overall theme for our website. Well, what I'm going to do now is just click this down and go back over to Shopify. We have talked about the apps now. I think you do understand how to do it. Just go ahead and install the ones you actually need. As you can see, Shopify also gives you some recommendations here. So you can have a look through these and just make sure you read the reviews. And then, as I said, install the ones you actually need. Now, jumping further into our sections, we have our online store. So if I go ahead and click on the online store, once again, we can see that we have the theme section that we went through earlier. We also have blog posts, which is the area where you can create new blog posts for your website, which is great if you want to create how-to guides. If you have a product that needs some sort of guide on how to use your product, or what clothes to wear in spring, or what are the best headphones to use in 2022, whatever it is, you can create these types of interesting blog posts that would also help you get found in Google as well. So that's kind of just an idea of what type of content you can create on your specific website. Just make sure that it's relevant to the product that you're selling and relevant to your brand. Moving on, we have pages. In pages, you can add, we currently have contact pages. We can add other pages in here as well if you have a specific page in mind that you want to create. I don't really have a page that I want to create, but it's very straightforward here as well. We can just have a look at the contact page that we currently have. So if you click on view page, this is how a page looks. It's very simple. And if you want to create a new one, you can just click on add page right here. Moving over to navigation, this will be where we have the menus that I spoke about earlier. So we have the main menu. So if I click on the main menu here, for example, we can change the links that we have in the main menu. So the menu here at the top of our website. So perhaps we want to change the name of the catalog here. So we can just click on edit. And then we can change this to AirPods, or we can actually change it to cases like that. Contact page, maybe we want to change this to support, so we can change it to support. And then we can just go ahead and click on save menu. And then if you go back to the website and refresh, as you can see, the main menu has been updated here as well. And if we want to add more links in here, or we can also delete these links that we have, but if we want to add more, we can just click on add menu item. We can type whatever we want. So we can add hello, and then we can add a link to a specific page. Perhaps we want to link to a blog post, or we want to just link to the blog overall, or we want to link to a specific product. So we can link to this product, for example. Then we can just go ahead and click on add, click on save. And right there, we added another element to our header. I think, let's see if it updates. Sometimes it will take a few minutes to update on the website. So let's see if we can get it pushed live. There we go. So now it's added to the website as well. So if we go back, we have the hello added to our main menu. And as you can see, it links directly to the product page as well. Going back into Shopify again, we have the final section, which is preferences. In here, you can add a title and a meta description about SEO. So we're going to skip this part. Essentially what it is the title right here that you can see here at the top. And the description is what you normally see when you make a Google search. There's a small description under the title. So that is what you're editing when you're editing this area right here. Social sharing, so you can change this if you want to. You have Google Analytics where you can paste your Google Analytics code in order to track your users and get more data behind who is visiting your website, when they're visiting, how long are they staying on the website, and so on. So I do recommend you to set up Google Analytics. It only takes a few minutes, and there are a bunch of tutorials already on that. I think I might have one on my channel, so you can just head over and watch that video as well. Next one is Facebook Pixel. This one is very straightforward to activate. You don't really need a guide either way. Just click on Set Up Facebook, and that will just take you through the process of setting this up. Next, we have customer privacy. Here you can see that we have some already here. So we have limited data collection for EU buyers is deactivated. We can just go ahead and activate this right here. If you're selling to European customers, so you can just go ahead and activate this. Then you can install the customer privacy banner app as well, which essentially would just be a cookie banner. I don't want to install it right now because you're just gonna make this video go on forever. So I'm just gonna click that down, but I do recommend you to get it. Finally, we have limited data collection for California buyers is deactivated. You can activate this as well. And then just go ahead and install the app as well. Now moving down again, we have password protection. So our website currently cannot be visited by anyone because we have password protection on. Once you purchase a plan, you will be able to remove the password from the website once you're actually done with the website and you're ready to launch. But before you're ready to launch, just keep your password activated. You can see my password here in case you want to have a look at my website as well. Going down, we have spam protection. You can enable this as well if you want to, just to make sure you don't get any spam emails. So this is good to have. And finally, we have domain redirection. This is a bit too advanced. We're not going to go too much into detail, but essentially what it is that you can automatically redirect people in the US to your US website and your UK customers to your UK website if you have multiple different websites for different countries. Once you've made all the changes, just go ahead and click on save. And the final section that we have here on Shopify is going to be settings. Now in settings, there are a lot of things we can go through. I'm not going to go through all of these settings. They're very straightforward, so you can just go ahead and have a look yourself. But the very first thing we're going to do is just the store details overall. If we scroll down here, you can see store currency. So this is the currency you want to charge your customers in. In my case, I want to change this to USD. So I'm just going to go to USD right here. We have it at the top, so US dollar. And we also have standard formats. I want to make sure I keep this in Stockholm because that's where I'm based. I want to use the metric system, but if you want to use imperial system, you'll have the option here as well. Prefixes, I'm not going to use any prefixes. So once that is done, I can just go ahead and click on save. And just to check that we actually updated our prices to USD, we can go ahead and refresh here as well. And as you can see, now it's 20 USD instead of 20 SEK as well. Now going back to the website again, we have some additional things we want to look at. We have payments. So here's where you'll be able to choose your payment methods. So how customers can actually pay you. So as you can see, you have Shopify payments. I do recommend you use Shopify payments. It has been very efficient as far as I've used it. So I do recommend to get Shopify payments. What you do is just click on activate Shopify payments. You'll go through a simple setup process. And once that is activated and done, you'll be able to actually accept credit cards, debit cards, whatever it is, through Shopify payments. Also, they have a 2.9% charge plus a 1.85 SEK, Swedish SEK, which is, I think, is about maybe $1 per transaction as well. No, it's less than $1 actually. It's way less than $1. But moving on, we have the PayPal Express checkout. I do recommend to use PayPal. You can just connect this with whatever email you have, or you can complete the setup with a different account as well. Amazon Pay, you have Amazon Pay, so you can just connect that. Alternative payments, if you want to get paid in cryptocurrencies, for example, you can get paid in cryptocurrency. So there's all types of options in here. You'll have to set up each individual payment method individually, but it's very straightforward. You can just go ahead and do it by yourself. Another thing I want to look at as well is going to be shipping and delivery. In shipping and delivery, you can manage your shipping rates. So if you click on manage rate right here, we can actually see what we currently have set up. So this is going to be the basic setup that we got once we got Shopify installed. As we can have shipping to, so we can see all European countries right here. Then we have the price. So if we want to change the price of this ship, then we can just go ahead and edit these shipping settings. So the price of our shipping is not going to be 300 SEK. It's actually going to be completely free. And then it's not going to be based on anything. So we just have free shipping on all our orders across our whole site. Free standard shipping is what I'll call this. Right, that. So we have free standard shipping. It's totally free. Here you can obviously charge whatever you want for shipping. You can also base it on item weight. So as you notice, when we look through the product pages, you can change the weight for each individual product. So if you put in the weight for each individual product, you'll be able to charge your customers for shipping based on the item weight. Now you can also do it based on the order price. So if someone is ordering for a minimum of something or the maximum of something, that is where you will be able to change that as well. I'm just going to keep it for free standard shipping for all orders on the website, and then I'm just going to go ahead and click on done. Then we have the rate for Sweden itself, so I can go ahead and edit this rate as well. I want this also to be free, so I can just go ahead and click on standard, free standard shipping once again, and it's also going to be based on the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and click on done. And then this says the rest of the world right here. So we're just going to go ahead and edit this zone. What it essentially says is the rest of the world, so we can just change this as well here at the top. So rest of the world, so all different countries except for Sweden, and then the European countries as well. Then finally for the rest of the world, I'm just going to go ahead and edit. We also want to have them free shipping, so free standard shipping. Now for the shipping name, you can just call this whatever you want. Perhaps you're using a specific, maybe like DHL shipping or whatever you want to call it. So it's up to you really. You can have express shipping and you can charge them 500 for express shipping. Whatever it is, you can set it up here. So now we have our 3 different shipping rates. We have one for Europe, we have one for Sweden, we have one for the rest of the world. Perhaps for the rest of the world, we have the option of express shipping, as I mentioned. What we can do is add a different rate for this specific region. We can set up our own rates. We can call this express shipping, and then this express shipping will cost you $25, and then we can just go ahead and click on done. So now users will be able to pick, do they want express shipping or do they want the free standard shipping? Once all of that is done and you're happy with your shipping settings, you can just go ahead and click on save, and that will be published live to your site as well. Finally, we have a lot of things to go through here, and I might make a follow-up video if you guys do request it. But finally, what I want to touch on is users and permissions. Within users and permissions, if you have a friend or a staff member they also want to have or be able to access your Shopify account, you can, instead of giving the password to your account, just add a staff member right here. And that way they will have their own account, and you can choose which level or what type of things they'll be able to change on the website. So keep that in mind when you want someone to come in and customize your website. If someone's asking for access, just make sure you don't give your login access, just add them as a staff member from this area. Finally, we'll just jump over to the plans we have over at Shopify. So let's just have a look. We're just gonna go to plans and then choose a plan. and then I'll just guide you through a little bit in terms of what I'm thinking for the Shopify plans. So Shopify comes in 3 different plans. You have the basic Shopify plan for $29 a month, you have the Shopify plan for $79 a month, and you have advanced Shopify plan for $299 a month. Now, what I usually get is the basic Shopify plan. It covers everything you need. And you can also connect your domain name, and you can essentially do whatever you want with your store. So that's all you need in order to just start selling. That's what you need. You need the basic Shopify plan, and that's everything you need in order to just get started. Now, when you are advancing and you feel like you are growing, obviously moving up to the Shopify plan is going to be the right move for you. Or if you already are a well-established brand, the Shopify plan or the advanced Shopify plan was going to be a better option for you. But if you're just starting out, go with the basic Shopify plan. It covers everything you need and just everything that you really just need to get started. Now, that will be essentially it for today's video. I'll make a follow-up video as well if you guys want me to make a more in-depth video and add some additional context around some additional settings and just go through some additional stuff. But this is going to be it. Just make sure you add your product. Make sure you finish the customizations of the theme itself. So make sure the design actually feels like it's your own brand. Make sure that everything looks great. Make sure you change all the settings, add your payment methods, and once all of it is done, you can publish your website and just start marketing your website and get your customers through the door and start making some money from your Shopify store. But that is going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like down below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm happy to help out. If you have any issues with your Shopify store, you can also join our free Discord channel, which is linked down in the video description. And that is pretty much it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the very next video.